You guys, we really need to talk about what's going on with Justin Bieber because things are getting complicated. Reports are now saying that he might be leaning on Hailey's recent business deal to help pay off Scooter Braun. At the same time, he's been teasing a new tour, and fans are curious if it's actually going to happen because the last tour plans didn't end well. There's a lot being said right now, and it's kind of a mess, so let's break it down. You remember how people used to claim that Hailey was just after Justin's money? Well, now the story seems completely flipped. These days, the rumors suggest that Justin might actually need Hailey and her money more than ever. Last week, it came out that in order to pay back Scooter Braun, Justin could be depending on the big deal Hailey just closed with her company, Rhode. If you haven't heard yet, Hailey recently sold her skincare brand, Rhode, to ELF Beauty. The deal was reportedly worth up to $1 billion. The breakdown of the deal was $600 million in cash, $200 million in stock, and another $200 million tied to future performance of the brand. Of course, this doesn't automatically make Hailey a billionaire because she's not the only person involved in Rhode. There are investors and others who also need to be paid. But still, when the news came out, people were shocked. Everyone was like, wow, Hailey is making a ton of money. And naturally, people started speculating about what she might do with all that money. This is where things start to get messy. Right around the time everyone was celebrating Hailey's huge business move, rumors began circulating that Justin allegedly owed $31 million to Scooter Braun. Remember, Scooter is the guy who discovered Justin, managed him for over 10 years, and was kind of like a mentor or even a father figure in his career. Their relationship ended last year, but the financial claims are still making headlines. Apparently, the debt comes from Justin backing out of his last tour early. That cancellation was a big financial hit for Scooter's company. Back in 2022, when Justin was preparing for his Justice World Tour, he reportedly received a $40 million advance from AEG. But when the tour was canceled, a clause in that contract required him to return $24 million of that advance. Scooter's company, Hive America, stepped in and paid that $24 million to AEG on Justin's behalf, expecting that Justin would pay it back over time. Here's where it gets tricky. Justin apparently made just one payment and then stopped. 2 years later, an internal audit at Hive claimed that he still owed a large sum. More recently, rumors suggested that Justin might owe Scooter as much as $30 million. When Hailey's billion-dollar Rhode deal was announced, naturally, people began speculating that maybe she would help Justin cover this debt. The timing seemed too coincidental for some, and fans started connecting the dots in their minds. But Hailey's team quickly shut down that narrative. They issued a statement making it very clear that her success with Rhode has nothing to do with Justin's financial situation. As reported by People magazine, a representative for Hailey said, "Rhode's business move in no way is associated with her husband's settlement. The historic sale of Rhode is a huge accomplishment for Hailey and is completely separate from her husband and his business affairs." It's wild, though, because if you remember, not long ago people were telling Justin to leave Hailey and get a divorce. Now the conversation has flipped, and people are telling Hailey to watch her money and protect her assets from Justin. It's the kind of advice that makes you pause and think about relationships and money. Honestly, it's a reminder that women often end up in these complicated situations where they are expected to carry someone else's financial burdens. And let's be real, we don't know them personally. We can only base our opinions on what we see publicly. Still, it's hard not to wonder about the dynamics here. Did Justin have anything to do with Rhode? Most reports suggest he didn't, which makes it even stranger to think about Hailey being expected to help him pay off such a huge sum. Some people might argue it's a gesture of love, but $31 million is no small amount, and the risk of paying someone else's debt without guarantees is enormous. Could you imagine putting that much money on the line and then ending up with nothing? It's a lot to consider. Another part of this story that's interesting is the question of how much Hailey will actually get from the Rhode sale. Sure, the deal is worth up to $1 billion, but that doesn't mean all of it is going straight into her bank account. There are investors, employees, and other stakeholders who are owed parts of the money. Even after paying all that, though, she's still likely walking away with a massive payday. People are speculating wildly, wondering if she'll actually get something like $100 million, $200 million, or even $500 million. The numbers are staggering, and it's easy to see why everyone is talking about it. Even though a lot of the rumors about Justin Bieber aren't true, people just can't seem to stop talking about him. Over the weekend, he posted something on his Instagram story that has sparked a whole new round of speculation. He shared a clip from a 2013 interview in which DMX talks about rejecting the idea of living completely clean from substances in favor of being exactly where he needs to be with God. Posting that now has fans thinking about Justin's own state of mind and well-being. Naturally, everyone is wondering what he's going through these days. Fans have been increasingly concerned about him, especially because of some of the posts he's been making on Instagram. People have noticed the way he looks at public appearances and in paparazzi videos, and some have speculated that he might be struggling with substance issues or even losing control of his life. A lot of the conversation died down for a while after he released his latest album, Swag. When the album came out, many people assumed that some of his behavior and posts on social media were part of a PR strategy. They thought maybe he was acting out to get attention before dropping the album, In fact, his album itself seems to address some of these questions. On the track where he collaborated with Dusky, he talks about how people constantly ask if he's okay. He shares how it sometimes feels like everyone else is perfect and has no problems while he's the one who has something wrong with him. He also explores how he expresses emotions and uses social media, showing that some of the posts fans were worried about were actually part of his way of processing feelings and connecting with his audience. When Swag came out, people were interpreting everything he did in the months before as part of a larger plan. Some even thought Hailey's post, where she wrote, "Is it finally clocking to you effing losers?" confirmed this theory. It made people believe that all the attention-seeking behavior was intentional and calculated, leading up to the album release. Even major publications like Rolling Stone published articles suggesting that Justin wasn't having a meltdown, as many assumed, but was instead focused and locked in on making his most mature and grown-up album to date. Of course, his Instagram story this past weekend stirred things up again. The clip about choosing not to live entirely sober and being where God needs you made fans question whether drugs or other struggles might have been part of his life for a long time. It reignited all the speculation about Justin's mental health, his lifestyle choices, and what exactly he has been going through. People are once again questioning his well-being and trying to read between the lines of his social media posts. Despite all the drama, one thing is clear: Swag is doing well commercially. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the album has already produced another hit with the song Daisies. The track reached the top of Apple Music and Spotify's daily US charts last week. It's also seen as a strong contender for the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, competing closely with Alex Warren's Ordinary, which has been holding the top spot for the past 6 weeks. When the new Hot 100 chart was released, Alex Warren officially claimed #1 while Justin's Daisies came in at #2. This is kind of shocking when you think about it. If someone had told you a few years ago that Justin Bieber would be competing with Alex Warren, a member of the Hype House, for chart dominance, it would have sounded unbelievable. Back in 2020, most people didn't expect social media influencers to reach this level of fame in the music industry. And yet, here we are. Alex Warren has dominated the charts for 7 weeks straight with Ordinary, showing how much influence these new creators have gained over time. It's a sign of how much the music landscape has changed and how unpredictable chart battles can be these days. Now, the big question is what Justin plans to do next. Will he take Swag on tour? The last time he had plans for a major tour, it didn't go as expected, and that situation even contributed to some of the debt he owed to Scooter Braun. Justin has also openly talked about how touring takes a heavy toll on him, both physically and mentally. Many artists are candid about the challenges of touring, and Justin is no exception. But there's a rumor going around that he might headline Coachella. It wouldn't be surprising if he chose Coachella as the place to make his return to performing live. Justin has been a regular presence at Coachella, often appearing as a surprise guest for other artists he's friends with. So having him headline the festival seems like a natural progression. Fans have been eagerly waiting for a chance to see him live again, and this could be the moment that reignites excitement for Coachella after ticket sales in recent years haven't matched previous highs. Of course, fans would love it if he did a full tour, not just one festival appearance. He has so many hits over the years, and people want to experience that live energy. But whether he will do a full tour, perform only at Coachella, or maybe even do a mix of both, remains to be seen. There's a lot of speculation, but nothing has been confirmed yet. At the same time, fans are still trying to piece together Justin's personal journey. His posts, his public appearances, the album, and his collaborations all seem to offer glimpses into where he's at in life. Some fans believe he's using music and public appearances to tell his story in a controlled way, while others still worry about his health and emotional state. It's a balance of artistry, mental health, and public perception, which is always tricky for someone with as much visibility as Justin Bieber. Even with all the questions about his personal life, there's no denying that Swag has been a success. The album has strengthened his presence in the music industry, and the response to Daisies shows that he still has a powerful connection with fans. The competition with Alex Warren just highlights how much the music industry has evolved, with new artists rising from social media and influencers gaining mainstream attention. It's a completely different world from when Justin first started, yet he continues to stay relevant and adapt to these changes. So whether Justin decides to tour, headline Coachella, or focus solely on his music, one thing is for sure: the conversation about him isn't going away anytime soon. Fans will keep analyzing every move, wondering about his personal life, his choices, and what the future holds. And as always, people are excited to see what he will do next. I want to hear what you think about all of this. What are your thoughts on Justin's Instagram story, his new album, the charts, and the possibility of a tour? Drop your opinions in the comments. I love hearing from you guys, and I can't wait to talk more in the next video. Thanks for sticking around, and I'll see you next time.